here again at the Michigan Science Center enjoying our Community Free Day brought to you by Axalta. We have another really awesome exhibit to check out today with the help of a couple fans of Echo Live. Everyone go ahead and say hi to Victoria and Victoria. Wave hi everybody. Victoria and Victoria have been tuning into Echo Live since we got started last March, and they're going to join us on a tour of our plant gallery. So here in the Smithsonian Spark Lab, we have been growing a variety of plants so that we can see what plants need to grow. So come on guys, let's check out our first exhibit here. Down here on the table, we have what we call plant needs. Now, Victoria and Victoria, can you tell me what is something that plants need to grow?
Water.
Water, okay, plants need water. What else? Sun. Anything else? Seeds or soil, right? So the plants that we have here on the table have been grown in all sorts of different conditions. We have one that was grown in baking soda. And if you've been tuning into Echo Live, you might know that baking soda is alkaline, or it's a base, right? And go ahead, Victoria, will you take a look at one of those? You can pick them up. You're not gonna hurt them, don't worry. Now, how well did that grow in your alkaline soil? What do you see?
Not that good. It didn't, I don't see anything sprouting, nothing.
Not really so great in that alkaline soil, right? Well, the next one we have is some coffee. Now, coffee is delicious, but coffee also has nutrients in it. So what do you see? Did we get good growth?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, right? So coffee is slightly acidic, but it also has nutrients in it, which helps those plants to grow. Next, we did a test of what kind of light plants need to grow, right? So you said that plants definitely need sunlight, they need water. So this one was grown in the window, and look at that. We've got great, amazing growth, right? Are the leaves pretty big?
Pretty decent medium.
Yeah, decently medium, we're calling them. I love that. So in our window light, right, those have had lots of sun. And so they grow really large leaves to help them with photosynthesis, which is the process that plants use to create food, right? Now, do we use photosynthesis? No, that's right. We do not use photosynthesis. We need to eat food. But plants are amazing that they can make their own food using the sun. Now, what about these ones, Victoria? Would you like to each pick one of those up? Come on over, grab a dark one. Now, these were grown in the dark. We didn't let them be near the window, so how do those ones look?
A little less than the window.
Yeah, a little
still
smaller.
grew.
They did grow. Now, do they have nice big leaves?
No, they kind of have small leaves.
They have really, really small leaves, right? They got very tall because these plants were actually searching for the sunlight, right? They were growing, trying to find some sun so that they can make food. So they have really, really tiny leaves, but they did get really, really tall. So that is one of the differences, right? Plants definitely need light, as we can see in our experiment here. Now this one is what we call a complete mixture. So complete means that these plants had everything that they needed in order to grow. So go ahead, pick one of those up. These ones look pretty good, right? They're not too tall. Those leaves are nice and medium, like we like them, right? They have everything they need. They had water, they had light, they had soil. And so those ones look pretty good and pretty healthy. And this one, we have something called vitamin C, which we know in humans, right, can help us with our immune system. Now, what do you see on the soil inside those cups? Do you see anything if you look down inside the soil?
Mold?
There's mold. Victoria is going to be an amazing future scientist because she identified that there's mold. Now, vitamin C tablets are actually made out of something called fish oil. Did you know that? Fish oil is basically ground up fish parts. And so what we're seeing molding down there in the bottom of our cups is actually some leftover pieces of fish, which is super icky. But our plants did grow, right? So vitamin C seemed to be pretty good for those plants. Now, lastly, we did a test of growing plants with no soil at all. And we did get a little bit of growth, right? Go ahead, check one of those out. A little bit of growth, but do you think they'll survive for very long without soil?
No.
No, they need some sort of medium, right? Something to grow in. So this is our first part of our plant gallery, but let's go take a look at another plant gallery that we have right over here. This is a station that we're calling Hydroponics. Now, what do you think hydro means? What do we see down there in the bottom of the containers?
Water?
Water, right? These weren't grown with soil that had nutrients in it. Instead, these ones were grown with water. Now, the stuff you see up in the top, see that stuff up there? That's coconut guar, so the hairs that come off of a coconut. There's no nutrients in it. It does give the plants kind of a place to grow, but it doesn't provide them with any nutrients. Now, hydroponics is actually the way that astronauts are going to try to grow plants on different planets or out in outer space on spaceships. Because is there soil necessarily on other planets? No soil on other planets, right? So we're trying to grow them using really, really minimal supplies. So things like water, some sort of medium for them to grow in. And we built this one out of completely recycled materials. So you can even do a hydroponics experiment at home. These are lettuce. So this is growing lettuce. You can see those leaves there are starting to turn into what might look a little bit like lettuce here. And hopefully, if we keep them nice and safe, we might be able to eat them, which would be pretty cool. Now, we said this is partly to do with how we're planning to grow plants on other planets, right? So let's take a look at our Martian garden. Where do we think we're going if we're talking about Martian gardens? To outer space, over to Mars. Here we go. We're heading to Mars. And this is what we're calling our Martian garden. We've basically built a little greenhouse. Have you all ever seen a greenhouse before?
Yes.
Yeah, greenhouses have nice clear walls, which allows sunlight to get in, but it keeps the heat inside. So we built this one out of super simple materials like PVC and saran wrap to show you that you can create something like a Martian garden at home. This is exactly like how astronauts will have to build stuff on other planets, right? Where the conditions aren't perfect like they are here on Earth to grow plants. Now, of course, we've got one last activity over here off to the side. This one is what we're calling our plant dissection. What do you recognize? What kind of plant are we dissecting here?
Potatoes?
It's a potato, right? So this is a potato dissection that we have set up for our guests here at the Axalta Free Day to talk about the various parts of a potato plant. Now, this looks pretty familiar to us down here, but let's take a look in these bins. Did you know this is what potatoes would look like if you were to find them outside?
They do?
Yeah, right? They don't look much like potatoes on top, and that's because potatoes grow completely underground, or at least the part that we want to eat, right? So if you stop by the Community Free Day today, we've got our pop-up plant gallery ready for everyone to take part in. So I want to say thank you again to our fans, Victoria and Victoria, for stopping by, for being a part of our live stream here. Thanks everyone, and thanks to Axalta for sponsoring this Community Free Day, and we'll see you all on our next live stream. Bye-bye!